some good news coming in. Read an article in the Gleaner where the Gensec, what is his name, Dalton Wint?
Dalton Wint.
Yes. He is saying that it looks positive for the Reggae Boyz in terms of passports. Now I'm going to quote a part of a Gleaner article. So just be patient with me a little bit. All right. The article is based around the fact that Michail Antonio should be available, but looking beyond that, we'll start at this point. It's very interesting, but only having names won't cut it. Now, this is Mr. Wint speaking. He said we want to get their documentation. Firstly, football isn't only on the field, so for these 60 players being talked about, things have to be put in place so they can concentrate and play on the field. Wint said that the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, Pica, has provided support in its effort to fast-track the process, and it is optimistic that Antonio and other players will be secured for selection.
Big up everybody who work at Pica office. Yeah, man. Big up on yourself.
Okay. Hold on there. There's something missing. Antonio and other players, not Antonio and the other players.
Well, hopefully one of those other players will be Mr. Gray. So we'll have an elite strike force ahead. Up top. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. It's good news to hear.
Very good news. And not only good news that this was signing players, but good news to say the JFF is being more dynamic, reaching out obviously to movers and shakers in bigger offices.
Yeah.
So kudos to them too. We tear them down a lot on this channel, but when they do good, we're gonna big them up. Good job. You know, let us see that this materialize. I want to see more dynamic movements like this from the JFF and other government agencies.
Exactly. Kudos to Pica as well for stepping in and helping the gentlemen with their paperwork. We just want to see it manifest now and put the best team forward. Now, with that being said, how does things look going forward into the Gold Cup?
Well, things look much more optimistic to me because I was wondering how we're going to compete without even Andre Gray, who we've already discussed on this channel. His movement fits in with the team. The team is finding him to create chances and score goals. So,
but like I said, we have to take it with a pinch of salt because the article says other players, not the other players. So I wouldn't take it to mean that everybody at this point. Because when I read it at first, I interpret it as it sounds like everybody should be getting through with their papers. It sounds like majority of the people will get through with their papers.
Well, according to Gleaner's quote from Mr. Dalton Wint and Michail Antonio, he'll be there. Is the direct quote. He'll be there. And I think if Michail Antonio is going to make it, it's easier for an Andre Gray to make it. Was already played games for us. Was already integrated in the team.
No, not necessarily, because remember, if Michail Antonio have the correct paperwork, it would be easier for him to get it. If Andre Gray has issues verifying who his paperwork or his connections to the country, it's going to take longer.
Okay, I see what you're saying there. I was assuming that since he already traveled with the team, that certain documents would already have been in place. But you're right. It could be a matter of proving lineage. I guess is what you're saying. Documentation to prove lineage to the country.
Yeah, and you have to remember when people are come through all them grandparents and them things. The amount of time them change birth certificate from me and you born. Can you imagine if you try deal with paperwork for your grandparents? Some people are born in probably on the 40s, 50s, 60s.
Enough people still think that the old white birth certificate valid. It's not valid. Get the new one.
It's blue now, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But Mr. Wint seemed to work magic with Pica. I mean, for the work with some magic with registrar, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely positive news though. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to go overboard, but it does make things look a little bit easier. Strike force definitely stronger. So yeah, I'm a little bit more excited now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I think I'm more excited than you because I always had a very negative opinion of the administration in the JFF. You know, this shows that there's actually some people who can think critically and execute.
Yeah. I think another thing too is that they realize that their eyes on them in terms of, and people are really passionate about our football.
Yeah, man,
have that long football history, but we love the football.
Fans was hitting them up, you know, on them socials and saying, "Yo, Mr. Primo said, no, not doing a thing." So, you know, so I want
sure.
All the Mr. Primo Vision fans to just drop a comment who did hit up Pica for you, you know?
Yeah, but we were saying is like, it sounded strange that they didn't try to expedite the process. You know what I mean?
Right.
But no, we're seeing that in fact that was done. So yes, well done, sir, Mr. Wint.
I think even
we did say you were responsible, sir.
Matter obviously came to a boiling point because
yeah,
when he came off the plane, it was obviously a very sensitive topic to him. You can see that he's had furious discussions about this in the past. Yeah. So, you know. But that is what it takes, you know. Yeah. We have to flesh things out amongst ourselves.
Yeah, man. Because it's true, because like we said, those comments that he made, they might try to fix it up and say, yeah, he meant this, he meant that. But they were very strongly worded comments and very direct.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's hard to misinterpret what the coach said.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, kudos to you guys. And we should be having a strong-looking team. We're going to cut down to that 23.
Yeah, definitely. And now that they fight through a Gold Cup together, now maybe they can learn how to fight through and qualify us for a World Cup, you know?
Yeah, because like I said, you know, I want the best performance possible in the Gold Cup. I would love to win it. But we're going with a talented squad, but it's a talented squad that hasn't played together much. You know what I mean? And some of the marquee players are going to be making their debuts in the tournament. You know what I mean? We heard about the 10-day training camp. That can help a little bit, but if them now get some games in, it's going to be a challenge. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Not to say that we can't do it, but it's not going to be a cakewalk like we said previously.
I think any football competition nowadays can be a cakewalk. I think football has grown to a level now where not only are more people playing the sport, but with video games and YouTube, people are able to see skill sets immediately, and they're mimicking that and applying those skill sets in their game. It's not like back in the day we'd only say Brazilian talent during a World Cup. I remember when we first saw what was that Real Betis guy from Brazil, the guy who basically started the stepovers. Real Betis flop. He was the most expensive player back in the day.
I remember.
You remember?
I can tell you who I remember seeing for the first time as a child in my house in Jamaica is Batistuta for Argentina. Okay. I was like, yo, they look like you tell him different.
Right.
Yeah, that's that.
And those skills were almost hidden in South America.
Yeah.
We never see that skill set until it reached the world stage. But nowadays, you know, that skill set, a man can YouTube a video and say, yo, I say a man pull off a flick. I don't even know what name. He said name Rabona. And then YouTube Rabona and they have 5 tutorial on how to do a Rabona.
Yeah.
You know, so the skill set, any competition nowadays is going to be harder in football.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be harder for any team to progress because you have teams playing ball. You look at the Eastern Bloc, Eastern European football nations like your Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, but them people have football in pedigree now.
Czechoslovakia?
As in, no, they might not, but remember, say, them people have a history of doing well in a football from way back. What I was talking about was their style has evolved. Yeah,
They're
of course.
more technical on the ball.
Yeah, but you see, it matters when you have that long time ingrained structure what we are talking about, you know.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I hear, like, I was watching a podcast previously, and I heard somebody from the GFF say they want to build a team basically as much possible on the local players because they feel that that is what breeds success.
Mm-hmm.
That is true if you have the fundamentals in place to create the standard of local players. When you look at countries that win World Cups with their local players are local born players or players that are based primarily in their domestic leagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those leagues are world-class leagues. They're not Red Stripe Premier League. You understand?
Yeah.
Or Digicel Premier League. You understand?
Who was saying that?
I think it's Speed. I don't remember his first.
For Jamaica, he must speak in particular.
Yeah, I remember JFF. I think he was the technical director.
No disrespect, Mr. Speed, but that is impossible. And impossible for I can use one simple fact why that is impossible. Pitch quality. Right? We don't have the pitch quality for our ballers to learn how to roll that ball on a world-class pitch, on a carpet. We don't have the experience to know how to weight that ball. And that's why countries like in America and Canada can do so well.
Yeah.
Their kids are playing on flawless pitches that know how to measure a ball, know how to put a grass cutter, keep it low, and put that exact weight on the ball so a striker can run onto it in his stride. We don't have that. Our pitcher, you try a grass cutter like that, it flick off a 2 if it
No, but remember, you run down the ball and it bounce off a stone and gone out.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So pitch quality alone negates an argument about local-based players. We need those English-based players just because they're used to playing on world-class pitches. That alone is a big deal.
Yeah, so we said that to say this. Thank God for the passports and big up yourself, Pica.
Big up Pica. Drop it in the comments. #Pica.